I am here with my friend, former client, colleague, all the things, Dani Kenney. Hi, Dani.
Hello, my love. I'm excited for today.
Yes, me too. So I asked Dani to come here so that I could show everyone what an energy healing session with me looks like when we're looking for intuitive blocks. And I asked Dani here because she's done sessions with me before and she knows kind of what the drill is. So usually when I look into someone's blocks, I can scan their energy. I've already got Dani scanned. I can feel exactly where the blocks are. But usually for good measure beforehand, I'll ask a question or try to prompt somebody like, "Hey, what do you want to work on?" or what do you want to look into? What do you want to create that you haven't created, or where are you feeling blocked or heavy? But with sometimes people just say, look into my blocks. I don't know what I want to clear. So, Dani, is there anything you kind of want to say as far as, clearing intuitive blocks? Is there anything you want to look into or anything you want to find?
Yes. Okay. I didn't know you were going to ask that, but since you're asking, yeah, I would love to focus on the realm of business. I feel like the last 18 months I've been in a bit of a transition and evolution in my business, and it still feels a little bit fuzzy, like what that's meant to look like. And so having some clarity and being able to trust my intuition around business and next steps and future and visioning would be amazing.
Awesome. And what have you run into as far as do you not know what the next steps are? Do you know what they are and you're scared? What's the relationship
Yeah,
to that?
I feel like I feel like for the last 18 months, I've had almost like an energetic blindfold on. And recently, through like a breathwork practice, I heard spirit say the blindfold is gone. And so I feel like there has been this really powerful shift, but it still feels fuzzy. So even though spirit has said it's time for you to see and you have the gift of vision, I feel like I'm not. And the natural response is I think there's something that I'm just afraid. Like I'm afraid to see what's next, even though it's there for me now to access.
Gotcha. Okay, well, so let's just dive in because the block is screaming at me. So,
Great.
when I look at your third eye, it feels pretty open and clear. But what it feels like is that you're operating with some energy in your solar plexus where it says, "I'm supposed to wait for someone to tell me what to do." Okay. So it kind of feels like even if you were the most intuitive person on earth, even if you saw spirit literally writing you a letter and saying, "Dani, do this," it would be like, "No, I'm supposed to wait and I'm supposed to do what someone else tells me to do." Does that hit ring true?
I've literally had this thought in my head almost every day, at least once a day. I just wish someone would tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's feeling like it's like I'm gonna hire this coach, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna hire this coach. I'm gonna hire this coach, and I'm gonna hire this psychic, and I'm gonna wait, and this psychic's gonna tell me what to do, and this intuitive is gonna tell me like what to do. Like it's just like the power has to be given to someone else,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
I want to look into it's right in your solar plexus, and it causes an anxiety that goes up, and then you learn you've got some coping mechanism for it, but it goes up and then it goes down. It goes up. Sometimes you're anxious with it, and sometimes you're fine, but it's just always there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That feels spot on.
Okay, so I'm getting something really, really clearly at 14. So I'm gonna have you breathe into your solar plexus. It might be in the heart, like whatever's kind of right between the breasts. Just kind of breathe right into that spot. And I want spirit to take you back to 14 years old. So 14 years old is like eighth, ninth grade. And feel into what was going on where you had to just wait for permission or you had to wait for someone to tell you what to do. Look around your friend groups, look around your family, look around the teachers.
There's one instance, and I don't know that I was necessarily waiting for someone to tell me what to do, but I remember a teacher talking about college. It was freshman year of high school, so it was really early on, but I knew I wanted to go to Stanford. Like I had had my sights set on Stanford for a long time. And he said, "You're not smart enough to go there." And
Okay.
in that instant, I decided that I wasn't going to go there. And I didn't. And I
Okay.
very quickly decided where else I was going to go, which was San Diego State. And that's ultimately where I went. But there was no, like, he told me that, and that dream that I had for years went away in an instant. And I completely shifted my plan.
All right. So he knows best. You don't. So what you
Correct.
intuitively wanted for yourself, like what you intuitively saw in your future, it was like, no, I have to listen to the authority. This person knows better than I do where I should go.
Yep.
So go ahead and breathe into your solar plexus. And I want you to feel into I want spirit to kind of put this teacher and counselor, whoever it was, in front of you. And again, we're not invalidating that person, right, wrong, doesn't even matter. What matters is the energetic pattern you picked up. And I want you to feel, what was the emotional reaction that you started but stopped right away?
I'm just feeling and seeing like me shrinking, and the word defeat is
Okay.
coming up, like feeling defeated.
Okay. So I want you to breathe right into that solar plexus, and I want you to feel that very familiar feeling of defeat, because this energy sticks around. What happens is you felt it, but you didn't complete it. And so it just sticks around and it creates you as a vibrational match for this reality over and over and over again. So you've felt this since then, probably in every area of life, especially in business, right? So it's like, okay, I want to do this thing. And then, oh, there's going to be defeat. And I'll just do this little thing. Oh, I want to do this big launch. Oh, defeat. Let's do this little launch. Okay, I'll settle for just this one little thing. So I want you to go ahead and go back into that ninth grade 14-year-old body. And I want you to start breathing in before you got defeated. Before you just said, okay, he's right, I'm defeated. What was the emotion? Were you angry? Were you upset? Shamed? Ashamed? Guilt? Fear? What was the emotion before you got defeated?
It feels like it's a layer of shame, but also like not enoughness. The word, like, you're just not, he said you're not smart enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So not enoughness would also be the vibrational flavor of not enough is shame.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and I want you to breathe right into that spot. I can feel how that shame in you, it's like there's the root of it in the solar plexus, but then it has little messengers that shoot out to your brain, shoot out to your heart, shoot down to your legs, shoot to your hips, like, and says, "Hey, always remember, like, whatever you see for yourself, someone else knows better. Always remember that." So want to go right into that shame. So I'm going to say this a few times, and you're just going to allow the shame to be seen, because you went into defeat so fast, you suppressed the shame. So you can't go there. You're not smart enough. You can't do this big launch. You're not enough. You don't have enough, or you're not doing enough, or you're not visible enough, or you're not this enough, that enough. Oh no, you can't do that. You're not enough. And just go ahead and let the shame be felt. So that shame has just been such a part of you. It's been such a home base for you. We just want you to breathe right into it, complete the emotion. All it is energy. It's not a truth. And we're just going to delete, uncreate, and transmute that shame across all time, dimension, space, and reality. So every time since then that you find yourself saying, okay, I'm going to see what this person says, I'm going to see what this coach tells me to do, I'm going to see what this psychic says is real, that is you trying to avoid this, right? That is you trying to avoid feeling like this when you do what you think you should do and you're wrong, or someone gives you negative feedback. So feel into everywhere that shame is now starting to bring up all extra layers of, okay, I can't feel this, so I'm going to become the person who hires other people to tell me what to do, or has other people tell me what to do, so that I don't ever have to feel this. We're just releasing, uncreating, and transmuting that across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Good. So go ahead and breathe right into there. And it feels like the shame itself, usually if you're right in an emotion and you're not distracting yourself, the emotion usually leaves in 60 to 90 seconds. This one has what I usually call a secondary thing underneath it. So underneath the shame, did you feel anything, any other emotions coming up?
No, I just feel, I could feel it in a lot of different places. And then it got like really uncomfortable right up here. Like my shoulders feel really, really heavy. Like there's a lot of pressure, like
Yes.
shoulders and like sides of my neck.
So that is What that is okay, I'm going to set myself up to become this person who I'll never feel that shame ever again. So I'm going to hire all these people or ask all these people to tell me what to do. So then what happens? You've got the weight of everyone's instructions on your shoulders, right? So just kind of feel into now what I want you to do is feel into all the pressure like, oh my gosh, this person is saying this, this person is saying this. Feel into they don't actually know better than you and feel how scary that is. It's scary. That was scary for the program, for the pattern. But I want you to feel all the weight of everybody's opinions and everybody's instructions and all the fear, if someone's saying like, oh, this big thing is here. And if you don't do this, you're going to be da 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 da. Feel into all that fear in your body. Like if I don't do what they say, like it's going to be huge consequences. And what's happened is that since you believe the world works that way, it's been working that way. So we're just releasing, uncreating, transmuting all that energy out across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Good. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, she's going to keep staying in that energy, like to process it out. But the way that this works is that when emotional energy is suppressed, all you have to do as the person holding the energy, you just have to feel that emotion. And as you feel it, it starts to amplify. And what I'm doing is I'm putting a lot of light in there to get in between the spaces of the energy. And then I'm using my intention to release and uncreate. And for her, I do a lot of de-story because there's a lot of story. We're de-storying all that energy, just deleting it, uncreating it, transmuting it, dissolving it. Sometimes I'll say unsubscribing it, whatever words add to the intention and the vibration of releasing that energy. And so now, Dani, I want you to feel into the back on your spine and your solar plexus, but in the back, feel into the seed that got planted. So this started before 14. 14 is when a lot of that showed up. Now I want you to go back to, it feels like between 3 and 6. So the whole like early childhood, feel into, I better listen to what they tell me. I better do what they tell me to do. They know better, right? Again, not necessarily incorrect programming, right? A 3 to 6-year-old who wants to be loved should listen to authority, right? So, but feel into, I want spirit to kind of take you back to being 3 to 6 years old. And I want you to start feeling into how you really felt like authority always knew better. Like you wanted to be told what to do. Because if you did what they wanted, they would love you. They would care for you. You'd be safe. You'd be fed. You'd be housed. You'd be clothed. So feel yourself going back into that 3 to 6-year-old age frame. And I want spirit to show you kind of where that seed got planted, where it all started, where you determined, all right, they know better than I do.
I've done so much energy work, and this woman has never come up. But there was a like a babysitter, like a home daycare I would go to, and she was just she was an older woman. I was really little, and she was just like very like authoritative, authoritarian, if that's the word. And there were a lot of rules, and she was very strict. And I very rarely got in trouble, but I saw a lot of other kids get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I remember like not wanting to be like the other kids, like just listen to her, follow the rules, and like you'll be okay, and we'll be okay, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's the interesting thing about those early imprints, right? It's like the ages 0 through 7 is when you're getting programmed for how the world is working. So you're getting programmed for like, okay, I stay safe if I do what that person tells me to do. Always. So go ahead and breathe right back to the seed. And the seed doesn't have a lot of emotion. I mean, it has fear. So fear is an emotion. So I guess that counts. So let's go ahead and breathe into the seed that's right in the back of the solar plexus. And I want you to feel into, I want on your next exhale, you're going to allow spirit to transmit your soul right back into that little daycare. And I want you to start remembering like the fear and remember the unconscious request. Please, I just want you to tell me what to do.
There, I keep hearing, I'm like begging, like, please don't tell my mom. Please don't tell my mom. Please don't
Mm,
tell my mom. Like the one time when I did something bad just felt like it was going to be the end of the world.
yeah.
Don't let anybody know. Don't tell anybody.
Right. Well, which tells us that you were the type of kid that always wanted to be safe with adults. Like you always wanted to just have them tell you what to do so that you knew the rules. Right. And so, again, not bad. You're trying to stay safe. But what you're doing is you're going into your business now and you're like, okay, somebody tell me the rules. Somebody tell me what to do so I know the right thing so I can get it right. Right. And it's like, oh no, shoot, it's my business. And so it's really an unsafe kind of forum for you of just like, okay, yes, I can do what I want. It's great, but also like I know I'm safer and I know I can succeed if you just tell me what to do. And so now you're just in this world where no one's telling you what to do. So we need you to be a vibrational match to be someone who can thrive in a reality where no one's telling you what to do. So you can, because you know what to do. Your intuition, like I said, the third eye isn't the issue. The psychic vision isn't the issue. The intuition isn't the issue. It's the you're blocking out some of the intuitive instructions because you're like, no, no, though I'm not safe when I do those. Because think about a little 3 or 4 or 5-year-old kid. Like that little kid is guided to in their intuition, their instincts, whatever you want to call it. Like they want to stand up and go play with the toys, right? Like, or they want to stand up and yell. They want to do whatever they want to do, but they learned that was wrong. And so there's somewhere inside of you that still feels like if you do what you feel guided to do, you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And you've been right about that, right? Because of the patterning.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would venture to guess that maybe some of your most successful periods in business have been when you were working with a coach or working in programs where it was like, here is the structure, do exactly as we say, and then you did those and you were good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So we
Yeah.
don't actually need to clear this energy if you want to keep doing it that way. However, what it feels like is you don't want to do it that way anymore. You want to do it your own way.
Yeah.
There's things that are bigger and better. Like in the business world, in my High Watt Business School, we kind of talk about you want to get that 3D. You have to go through a phase in your business where you do the structures. And then when you move into a higher consciousness, the structures don't even work for you. And so that's where you're at. So breathe into that back, feel into that seed. And we're just going to go ahead and release, uncreate, and transmute everywhere you sold yourself the reality that if I listen to other people, I'll succeed. Like that I have to listen to other people to succeed. We're just going to release that, uncreate it, and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to release. You have so many chords with this. So there's so many people you made agreements with. Like, I will be your dream kid. I will be your dream student. I will be your dream client. We're just going to release, uncreate, and transmute that across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And this doesn't take away your ability to continue to be guided to the right things or people, or, you'll still be guided to all the places where you'll get the ideas. You're just not limited to only going with other people's ideas. You're now going to be open to seeing things intuitively and really trusting them. So just releasing all that energy. Whew. How's that feeling?
It feels good. A lot is shifting. I feel like I need, not literally, but it's like this experience of like wanting to throw up. Like there's something like oscillating here.
Okay.
Like, and
I
it's
can see what
getting
it is.
close. It's like right here, it feels like.
I can see what it is. Okay, so go ahead and breathe right into that spot. And I'm just going to ask you to turn off your logical brain. And I'm going to ask Spirit to show you exactly the answer to my question. When did you venture off of what someone told you to do and do your own thing and have a consequence, a punishment?
Not I think, because we're not in my mind. I feel like I looked at a lot of the way that my mom did things and I made decisions that I was going to do them very differently.
Mm.
Like I was going to like carve out a very different path. And I wanted to live almost a life that looked 180 from hers. And I convinced myself that like everything would be good and perfect and great. And it wasn't always that way. And it hasn't been that way. And it's been confronting to like be with that reality.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and breathe into that energy. Good. So just kind of feel into what's the emotion that's there.
It's that it's the disappointment and the defeat. Like I thought it was going to be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't make the plan for your life based on your intuition. Part of what was fueling it was the desire to be different than what you grew up in. A lot of people do this, right? So it's like I see that this didn't work or this isn't what I want. So I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
So rather than intuiting or having, guidance about what your life actually is going to be, it's fueled instead by simply the desire to be opposite, right? So we
100.
got to get that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want you to do underneath your fuel to do it the opposite way is your fear of doing it the same way that she did. So I want you to feel into, go ahead and breathe right into this spot right in here. I want spirit to show you how deep that fear is of being like that or having it like that. Ooh, there we go. And just go into that fear. Feel into all your fear that it's going to end up that way for you. Feel into all your fear that you imprinted that way. We're just going to release, uncreate, and transmute. And actually, what I want you to do, take a breath right in there, and I want you to kind of energetically throw up. Like that. Get it out of your, there you go. Releasing, uncreating, transmuting all that energy out. Good. Deleting, releasing. You're releasing the energy. I'm sealing up the pattern. So just releasing all that energy and go even deeper now. It feels like there's an even deeper fear of it. So go even deeper into the actual fear, turning out the way I don't want to turn out or having things go that way. Just releasing, uncreating, and transmuting all that energy. Because the thing is, you imprint energy, and period, right? You're going to imprint her energy. So even with your intentions to do it a different way, we're going to release everywhere you did imprint that energy. So maybe I did it a different way, but I'm ending up with the same feelings. I'm ending up with the same, for example, if you saw mom lonely, it's like I could even get married and have kids and still be lonely. It's like that kind of energy. I'm not saying that's true for you, but like it's like I saw mom be poor and sad, so I'm going to be rich. Oh shoot, I'm also sad, right? So it's like you still imprinted the energy. So we're releasing that energy. So breathe right in, and now it's all moving kind of right around the throat. Go ahead and
Mhm.
breathe into the throat. And I can feel a lot of shame from you for even thinking this, secretly planning this, like I'm going to do it different. I want you to feel into the shame, like because it's like there's so much love there and there are a lot of things about her that are just amazing and did work, but just you saw struggle or you saw pain or you saw something. So we're just going to release all the shame for judging it. We're going to release that, uncreate it and transmute it. Good. Across all time, dimension, space, and reality. So I want you to just go ahead and feel every last bit of the emotion that's in there, the stuckness that's in there. So everywhere the desire to be counter to my programming blocked out the intuition, right? I decided I wanted to be the opposite of this person, so that blocked out being able to intuit who am I actually going to be independent of my programming and my desire to counter the programming. There's something else, right? So we're just releasing, uncreating and transmuting all that energy out. Oh, perfect. Just releasing all that energy out, deleting it. I'm going to put some extra light in your throat and I'm just going to delete, uncreate, and transmute and release everywhere I had to kind of keep all my goals to myself. All right. Perfect. So that's going to clear. It feels like that needs about 30 more seconds to clear. I'm just going to release it, but I'm going to talk while I'm releasing it. So, one of the things I'm kind of talking about in the Intuition Summit is oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Sorry, I just had it. I'm sorry. So I'm just still releasing all that energy out. Maybe it'll come back to me. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just releasing all that energy. Right. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So one of the things I'm talking about in the Intuition Summit is, a lot of the times I told people like there's a million different ways to make $1 million. And most of us, because our intuition is so blocked, we're only open to it happening like 4 or 5 ways, right? So for you, it was like you were only available happening in a way that was counter to what mom did, right? So, and you're only available to it coming in a way where people were telling you what to do. So it just totally limits you from being able to intuitively see any guidance or any strategies or structures or anything that existed outside of those models that you were carrying. So right now, as we release that, like who knows, you could have done it mom's way and just really thrived, right? You could have done it with coaches and really thrived. You could have, I mean, there's so many, it can come in, $1 million can come in a million different ways. Now you are open to seeing guidance to having success in ways that are outside of all that programming that we just cleared.
Love
So
it.
yeah. So now what I want to do, ooh, I could tell that makes you nervous. We're just going to release, uncreate, transmute all that. So what I want you to do now, go ahead and close your eyes and I want you to feel into, I know, I've already had intuitive nudges about all the things. And now I'm safe to act on those. So feel into, now it's safe. And so any little parts of me, any of the little girl inside of me who's still protecting me from shame, who's still protecting me from defeat, we're going to let her go. We're going to age her up. Go ahead and let her, she moved through that defeat and that shame. So go ahead and feel she's no longer stunted inside of you. She's going to now grow up and, and join you at this age. Go ahead and feel her kind of expanding and joining you present day. And go ahead and start to now feel, I'm going to download you with the vibration. I'm kind of sending you the energetic imprint. Feel into who you would be today if you had always been totally open to all the intuition. If you had never been operating with these other programs. Take your deep breath in, and on your next exhale, just go ahead and expand this version of you out past the room, out past the town you're in. And go ahead and expand it out as far as your services reach, or as far out as your potential clients are, or as far out as your business colleagues are, as far out as you reach. Just kind of let everybody feel you here. And also simultaneously letting yourself connect with them, feeling into, all right, there's clients and colleagues and people out there that are more of a vibrational match for me here. When I operate this way. In the past, I was attracting all of the people who vibrated with, Susie Rule follower, right? So feel into, and now I'm a vibrational match for so many more people. And I'm a vibrational match for the right things to pop into my head. So whether that comes through, clear knowing, clear feeling, clear seeing, clear hearing, however it wants to come in, it's now open to come in. I can now receive it. I'm open to all the ways. Good. Go ahead and take a big deep breath in and release. New woman. Good. How's that feeling?
Really good.
Good. Yeah, it's very mature, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's just like, all right, like I've kind of been this person all along. I just wasn't acting like it, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, Dani, thank you so much for doing this with me. I think a lot of people are going to benefit from what you just cleared because I think a lot of people those are very common blocks.
Yeah,
So,
there's like this like little Rolodex of things making so much sense and like things still clearing, like certain moments where I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't have to be that way.
yeah.
This is really cool. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.